Hi guys, this is Erica from Gokce Capital. Now before I begin, be sure to click subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Can cows save the prairie? One conservationist thinks so. We'll learn more at the end of this video. But first, if you wish to protect your soil, you should learn about the Soil Productivity Index. And in today's video, we have the top things you should know. Number 1. What is a soil productivity index? A soil productivity index is used to rate the potential yield of one soil against another over a period of time. The rating is on a scale of 1 to 100 or 0 to 1 and encompasses soil fertility plus the inherent and management-related factors affecting plant growth and development. Number 2. What soil characteristics are productivity indices based on? Well, each soil productivity index uses a slightly different methodology, but some of the characteristics include the amount of organic matter in the soil moisture content, the effective depth, texture and structure, drainage, cation exchange capacity, base saturation, and mineral reserve. Number 3. What is the National Commodity Crop Productivity Index? Typically, soil productivity indices are state-specific. However, the NCCPI is a national soil productivity model that is intended to be applied across state lines. Here's a sample map of Kansas, and you can see the different colors rank soils on a scale of 0 to 1. This system is one of the most useful for land buyers. However, it's important to understand that it can only be applied to non-irrigated or dryland agriculture and applies to certain specific crops. Thus, it isn't intended to replace any current state-specific productivity rating system. Number 4. How do you find your state-specific soil productivity index? Because land in the U.S. varies so widely, each state tackles soil productivity independently. And you can find your state-specific soil productivity index by contacting your local Natural Resources Conservation Service office or your state university's Ag Extension Lab. And number 5, what is the National Cooperative Soil Survey Program? In order to make life easier for landowners and land buyers, the National Cooperative Soil Survey Program is a partnership led by the USDA's Natural Resources Conservation Service that collects soil information from multiple states, agencies, and organizations to map it for public use. Currently, it has soil data for more than 95% of the nation's counties. And you can explore this data by going to the Web Soil Survey, which lets you map a specific location and then pull up lots of information on soil health and vegetative productivity, including the Crop Productivity Index. So that covers the basics of the Soil Productivity Index, but there's one downside to this measurement. It, of course, only focuses on soil. So what if you are interested in the overall health of your land? That's a question that brought together two unlikely allies, Marshall Johnson, a conservationist at Audubon, and Dave Hutchinson, a rancher in north-central Nebraska. Marshall Johnson is the force behind Audubon's new BirdFriendly Beef program. He is a Texan born and raised and grew up enamored with cowboys and rangers, in particular Bass Reeves, the first black U.S. Marshal. Even today, he is not without his cowboy hat, which he admits he probably shouldn't wear as much as he does. Thus, when Marshall joined Audubon at the tender age of 24, he came with a few unorthodox ideas. For one, he wanted to work with ranchers, not fight them. While he didn't have proof, he had noticed that whenever he visited a ranch, there was always vibrant humming and bird song that followed the cattle along the Great Plains. Intuitively, this shouldn't be too surprising. Prairies need grazers, and in the absence of the traditional buffalo herds, cattle are perhaps the next best thing. The problem is that when poorly managed, cows can be highly destructive, and not every environment or ecosystem can handle them. But when grasses are grazed at the right time for the right amount, they develop thicker and deeper root masses, which hold moisture in the soil and keep it healthy. As Marshall says, when well-managed cattle are present, the land comes to life. More importantly, 85% of the existing prairie is on privately owned land. Thus, To protect the prairie, we need ranchers, which is why Marshall pioneered the Bird Friendliness Index as part of Audubon's Conservation Ranching Initiative. This index incorporates not only soil health, which many ranchers already watch, but water quality and bird diversity as well. One of the first ranchers to sign up was Dave Hutchinson, an organic farmer in north-central Nebraska and one of the founding members of Panorama Beef. Dave is the son of a state soil conservationist and a proud steward of the land in the mold of Leopold's farmer as conservationist model. Still, Dave is not a fan of environmentalists. In fact, Dave was one of the most reluctant of Panorama's farmers to sign up with Audubon. However, Dave faced an immediate threat, for Nebraska Public Power had plans for a new power line that threatened to chew up the grasses his cattle needed. So he was eager to have Audubon's political clout on his side. The partnership ended up as a win-win. It didn't cost Dave anything, and the Audubon seal will likely help him by increasing Panorama meat sales among the growing number of U.S. organic buyers. At the same time, the Panorama partnership will allow Audubon to improve soil management practices on 3.5 million acres at a fraction of the price they would pay to acquire the land outright. You can't manage what you can't measure, as they say, and indices help all of us landowners come up with creative ways to better protect and manage our land while simultaneously improving the bottom line. But what do you think? Do you have any stories about soil productivity indices? Let us know in the comments. Did you like this video? You're going to love our Gokce Land Due Diligence program. We'll make you a land due diligence expert in just 7 days. Check it out at gokcecapital.com/glad. And while you're at our website, don't forget to explore our $1 down properties at gokcecapital.com/listings. Finally, don't hesitate to reach out. You can email, call, or text, and we will respond as soon as possible. So thank you for listening, and more to come.